The Sun is the star at the center of our solar system. It is the staple of our daily basis. The Sun has been providing us with light and heat for billions of years. It is by far the most important source of energy for life on Earth. The Sun is a nearly perfect spherical ball of hot ionized gas, which is called plasma. Its diameter is about 109 times that of Earth, and it has a mass about 330,000 times that of Earth, covering about 90% of the total mass of the solar system. About 3/4 of the Sun's mass consists of hydrogen, which is a highly flammable gas. The rest is mostly helium with much more smaller quantities of heavier elements such as oxygen, carbon, and neon. As we all know, the Sun is the heart of our solar system. But what might happen in the event of the Sun's death? In this topic, we will be discussing about the death and the absence of the Sun.
Stars like Sun, when the core runs out of hydrogen fuel, it will shrink under the weight of gravity. However, some hydrogen fusion will affect in the upper layers of the Sun. As the core shrink, it heats up, the heat of the upper layers causing them to expand. As the outer layers expand, the radius of the star will increase and it will become a massive star which is called a red giant star. The radius of the red giant sun will be just beyond the Earth's orbit. At some point after this, the core will become hot enough to cause the helium to fuse into carbon. When the helium fuel runs out, the core will expand and cool. The upper layers will expand and will collect materials around the dying star to form an interstellar clouds of dust, hydrogen and helium, which is called nebula. Finally, the core will cool into a star that is brighter than the Sun, which is called white dwarf, and then eventually into a black dwarf, meaning the star will no longer emit any visible lights. This entire process will take a few billions of years from now. If a star is more massive than the Sun, when the core runs out of hydrogen, these stars fuse helium into carbon just like the Sun. However, after helium is gone, their mass is enough to fuse carbon into heavier elements such as oxygen, neon, silicon, magnesium, sulfur, and iron. Once the core has turned to iron, it can no longer burn. The star collapses by its own gravity and the iron core heats up. The core becomes so tightly packed and forms neutrons. In less than a second, the iron core, which is about the size of Earth, shrinks to a neutron core with a radius about 10 kilometers. The outer layers of the star fall inward on the neutron core, thereby crushing it further. The core heats up to billions of degrees and explodes into a supernova, thereby releasing large amounts of energy and material into space. The shockwave from the supernova can initiate star formation in the other interstellar clouds. The remains of the core can form a neutron star or a black hole depending upon the mass of the original star. So what you really get when a star actually dies? Well, it depends on the mass of the star. If your star is 0.5 the mass of the Sun, you will get a white dwarf. If you have a 3 times or more in mass, you will end up with a black hole. If you end up anything in the middle, you will have a neutron star, which is a star brighter than the Sun.
Now we've been just talking about what happened when stars dies, but what happened when our own Sun dies? Now, looking closely, we are seeing the picture of our solar system about 5 billion years from now. We can see something is dramatically wrong with the Sun. Its fuel supply running low, our stars now swells in size, becoming a red giant, engulfing the orbits of Mercury, Venus, and our Earth. Now our Sun goes unstable and puffs out shells of plasma and gas, eventually hurling out towards the component of what will become an immense fluorescent nebula for all the galaxies to see. What remains of the Sun now shrinks down into a dense, cold white dwarf star, the lonely cinder of our former Sun, with Mars as its closest companion. So, as we all know, eventually the Sun will die soon. And if the Sun did die, it will take all of us with it. Meaning, it will take our debate. In conclusion, to all the scientists out there, Get the escape spot ready. We'll get it done. So, as we all know, eventually the sun will die soon. And if the sun dies, it will take all of us with it, meaning we're all going to die in a fiery fate. In conclusion, to all the scientists out there,